Controversial title. Goals. Are they garbage or gold? Well, I don't know. Might even have your own opinion with that. I know someone who says to me just regularly, I don't really set goals. I view them as all artificial things, and I set them if I don't need to set them. I know what I'm going to do, and if I set them, then I feel undue pressure, and there's this whole conversation about it. But at the same time, that individual absolutely has objectives that they get done every day. So talking about individuals' approaches to these might be useful, but I want to think a little bit more about it, and I want to ask you to think about it. Having goals or not is a personal matter. How you have them is really important. You do have them. Sometimes they're unspoken. I'm going to get through this day okay. I'm going to get through this circumstance okay. I'm going to really glean a lot from this meeting or this book. I'm going into this conversation with a very intentional outcome. I want to have, good outcome. I want this contract to get signed, or I want to get this problem resolved, or I want this arbitration to be resolved, or I want to fix this relationship. We have them, and we have them in powerful and important ways that matter a lot to our lives. So today, in this road to 50 million, I'm helping me. This whole thing. I realized this whole thing is me, right? This is my journey, serving with your divine gifts. It's taken me a long time to figure out what the gifts are that I really have. It's taken me a long time to be really clear about what I'd like to do with them and how to serve with them. It's taken me another period of time. I keep saying really long time. I don't know. But it's taken time to discover the goals. It's taken time to decide what I want to do with them. And you know what's taken the most work? I don't know, time's taken the most work to trust that it matters, to trust that I can actually do something valuable with the goals. I watched a video, or at least part of a video this morning, where someone was talking about money, a money story, and their money story and their relationship to money. And they were talking about the truth is money is an inanimate object. It's as dead as a piece of dirt, right? Or a rock or something. Well, a piece of dirt is obviously full of life, but it doesn't have an intention and it doesn't have a will. Money is an accumulation of value that we trade with each other, but sometimes we treat it like it has a mind of its own, like it comes to us or doesn't come to us, or it avoids us, or we, it like money, the concept of money has a will of its own, and it's forcing us to be poor or allowing us to be rich. That's just not true. I have finally learned I am the primary architect. I can create money, absolutely without question. I can create money. And so, wow, knowing that means, okay, if I know absolutely without question I can create money, then the next question, okay, how? What do I do to do that? And all that is handled without drama now, but it wasn't always that way. I used to be afraid of money. I used to be believing that, even though there was a time in my life when I had a lot, and I have plenty now, but there was a time when I had quite a bit, and I used it in a silly way and wasted it. And I used to think that because I wasted it, money was going to avoid me. I wouldn't get a chance to have it again. I used to believe that. And that's funny. Again, that's attributing an intelligence and a will to the concept of money, which is just nonsense. What may have happened, and it did happen, is it affected my belief about myself. Okay? I believed then, I had a ton of money and I wasted it, or wasted a lot of it, and so I won't be able to create it again. Okay, that might be true, or it's true if I allow it to be true. but I externalized it and said, oh, well, I won't be able to, that won't let me have it again, that thing over there. Well, that's nonsense. And it's fun knowing that it's nonsense, because what it really means is all of that dance, having it, having a lot of it, wasting it, not being able to have it again, being able to have it again, creating a lot again, all of that is in me. That is such good news, and maybe such bad news. I said this either yesterday or the day before. There's a quote that is most recently attributed to Marianne Williamson. It says, our deepest fear is not that we're powerless, but that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that scares us, or something like that. And I'm sure I'm quoting it wrong. And I think she was quoting someone before that. It doesn't matter who said it first or second or third. I'm saying it fourth, maybe. It is a true thing. We are more afraid of our opportunities, our power, and our capability than anything else. Maybe we're afraid we won't do it right, or maybe we're afraid we'll try really hard and it, quote, still won't work. I used to do that a lot. Oh, I used to procrastinate badly, and here's why. Here was the story in my own mind. It was, well, if I procrastinate and then hurry up and do it at the end, then if it's not perfect, it won't matter, because then I can tell myself, well, if I had more time, I could do it better, but that's absolutely good for how much time I had. Never mind that I could have started it earlier and a bunch of stuff. Isn't that a silly thing to do? But I know so many people that do that. They put it off because they do not want to simply put their whole heart and soul in something, have it turn out as it turns out, and let that product, book, song, music, talk, relationship, business, whatever you build, stand on its own, and then get feedback about what it is. We are so allergic to feedback. And I might put my heart and soul into building something. I have. Let me rephrase that. I have put my heart and soul into building something. It did not do what I wanted it to do. And that was at the time almost more than I could stand. Because to me, again, a story in my mind was that meant I was flawed. I was a failure. The truth, I built X. X did Y instead of Z or Z. Oh, that's feedback. So let me rebuild it to X prime and see how that works. That's the real way to both build progress and to get things done. Imagine if someone like Edison, who tried, 1,000 times or something, to create an incandescent bulb, had created a moral judgment about himself each time he'd done that, or someone that was trying to build anything, or find a vaccine, or cure a disease, or, create a new product. Every time it didn't work, that became a moral judgment about their character. Well, we do that. And maybe you never did. I did. It meant I was bad and I was wrong. And you know what? Then I used to think, well, why did that? And that was back to this, and my depression and not good enough, and that came from these events. You know what? It doesn't matter if that's all true. Okay, this happened, and that caused this, and therefore this. Let's say that's all true, and I don't even dismiss it as nonsense. That did happen, and it did cause this, and then this and this. The truth is, I get to decide here and now what to do with that chain of events. I get to choose. That's what responsibility means. Response-ability. So let's get back to the primary objective of today's conversation. Goals, garbage or gold? If your goals are to satisfy someone else, and you don't really want them, they're garbage. They will be an albatross and a rock around your neck. If someone wants something and you think about it and you decide, I'm going to do that for them, don't treat it as a negative thing. Make a decision in love and power to do that thing and do it all in, all the way, no matter what. Why? Because you said you would. Period. So I am absolutely for creating goals. If goals today for you are garbage, it might be worth the inquiry to see why. I used to treat goals as a jailer. I would set goals, sometimes even a day at a time. I'm going to do all this stuff this week, and here's my packed daily schedule from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pack, and I have to do all these things perfect, and everything has to take exactly that amount of time. And it was a jailer, because we all know nothing goes as planned. Things take too long. You get up a little late. Something else happens. You get a letter or a phone call or, whatever it is. And that derails the day and then the week, and then, oh, no. And then that was my excuse to feel bad about myself, to give up, to quit trying and say, see, I'll never get done. That's a lousy way to treat yourself. I treated myself really badly. And I lived behind the eight ball because my goals were my jailer. My goals were my jailer. So then the other end of that is to say, okay, I'm going to set a goal. I'll give you a real live example. I got a song I'm working on in the studio right now called, I can't think of it right now. I'll think of it in a minute. Sing. Something to do with sing. I can't think of it right now. It slipped my mind. You know how that happens? Ding, zipped out of my mind. That's all right. Oh, living in the sunshine. That's what it is. Living in the sunshine. And you know what? I've been working on that thing for 3 weeks, and I keep telling myself, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. And I don't. Other things come up. I've got coaching clients. I had to go to San Francisco for a week. I have some editing to do on a video I owe for my Traverse TV network. For the Creative Save the World episodes, I've got 3 of those out, and I've got 7 more to edit, or 6. I got the 4th one edited, but it's not up yet. And so those are all just choices. But what I used to do with those choices is make one of them right and wrong and feel guilty. Or I said, it won't matter. I'll just get it done whenever I get it done. Well, that doesn't work either. Because then even the slightest impediment, I don't feel like it. Joy calls me to do something, or some other opportunity presents itself, and I don't really have a deadline, so I can do that later. And then they get put off and put off and put off. So the tool for deciding whether goals are garbage or gold for you is your own set of priorities and your own commitments. The beautiful thing about that is because you and me, we're sovereign in our own lives. And whether we want to admit it or not, we create who we are. We were sent here naked as a baby with gifts and talents. We choose to develop them or not. We choose to serve and love or not. And we choose to develop our own internal skills and resources or not. We choose to overcome the obstacles that are either externally imposed or environmentally imposed or internally created, or not overcome them. Whatever the sum of those choices are, I'm going to say this slow because it's really important for me. Kellan, the sum of all those choices of externally imposed obstacles, internally invented obstacles, or environmentally, universe-imposed obstacles, what I choose to do with all those things will be the sum total of what I create out of myself. And that's all I'm taking with me when I leave. Well, you know what? It has been in the past easy for me to say, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do this today. But something that recently has been really valuable for me is to think, look, I have X years here. None of us know exactly how long it is. I had a fun experience on my 66th birthday. I imagined I was at the top of the mountain, so I have another 66 to go. So I think I'm going to live to 132. But regardless of whatever it is, we have how long we have. And I have finally realized that I really want to take with me as much as I can. And I know I can't take any stuff with me. The only thing I can take with me is my memories, my relationships, and who I am. I want to make good memories. I want to have strong and powerful relationships. And I want to make the very most out of the gifts and talents I was given, because that development I get to take with me. No stuff, but who I am. So the goals for me have been changed now into gold. My goals are gold, and I have learned, and it took work, and it took coaching, and it took a lot of failing and mistakes to set goals, to have them be clear and present and meaningful, and to figure out how to schedule them to keep a life that it's balanced with no guilt or worry. So one of the statements in my PTAC is I have no internal conflict or withholding in my being. That was a hard one for me to say, and it was hard to learn to do. But it's a beautiful place to be. That means I'm at peace completely with what I do, with the goals I set, with the interruptions I allow, and no more excuses. So your invitation here today in terms of my 50 million people, I want to help you discover and serve with your gifts. I have all kinds of tools I can help you with. So my invitation is, are you living the life you really want? Do you have the money you want? Do you have the peace you want? Are you creating relationships like you want? Are you in love with yourself? Do you enjoy every day? I have tools like how to create endless energy. I have tools like how to create time. I have tools where I help people write books. I have tools where I help people rewrite those fundamental disempowering beliefs like I used to have. I'm not good enough. It's too late. I won't do this. I'll fail anyway. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Money is repelled from me. All that stuff that's just stories and noise. Because I needed them, I've created processes and tools that have successfully allowed me to get past all of those things. I live with purpose, prosperity, and joy every day. It didn't fall out of the sky, and I didn't fall up the mountain. It came as the result of setting goals and achieving them despite setbacks, delays, and so forth. And part of the fun has been learning to live with the delays and joyfully play with every opportunity and say, what can I create from this unexpected detour? Then how I do that is I say, you know what, maybe this isn't a detour. What if this is exactly the way I should go? I just didn't know it till the detour sign showed up. What if I don't ever even think detour anymore? What if I just think, oh, this was the way I was supposed to go? It changes how I look at everything, changes my energy, my love, and my excitement for the day. I love you. I invite you to discover and serve with your gifts. I'm a coach. I help people do the impossible. If I can help you, I'd love to. If you're already getting the help you need and you're living that ultimate life, I'd like to know, because I love knowing more people like that. My road to 50 million is to provide the encouragement and tools like this conversation to help you discover and serve with your divine gifts. I'll see you tomorrow on the road to 50 million.